In a land where the sun scorched the earth and the wind carried the whispers of despair, a village sat on the edge of ruin. For months no rain had fallen, and the once lush fields had turned into barren wastelands. Hunger gnawed at the villagers like an unrelenting predator. Among them was Kam Sab, a young woodcutter with calloused hands and a hopeful heart. Though the weight of his family's survival pressed heavily upon him, he refused to give in to despair. One fateful day, armed with nothing but his axe and a determination to provide, he ventured deeper into the forest than he ever had before. The forest was dense and foreboding, its towering trees casting long shadows that danced in the afternoon light. As Kamsab moved through the underbrush, he noticed something unusual, a faint golden glow emanating from the base of a rocky hill. Intrigued, he pushed aside the brambles and found a narrow crack in the rocks. From within, an ethereal light flickered, accompanied by a soft, melodious hum, like the whisper of 1,000 unseen voices. His curiosity overtook his caution. He widened the crack with his axe and squeezed through, his breath catching in his throat as he stepped into an otherworldly cavern. A hidden paradise. The cavern was nothing like the bleak, dry world above. Its walls shimmered with golden veins, and a crystalline spring bubbled in the center, casting ripples of light onto the ceiling. Lush greenery adorned the cave, and the air was filled with the scent of wildflowers. It was as if he had stumbled into a hidden paradise, but his awe soon turned to shock as his eyes fell upon a figure in the middle of the cave. Reclining on a smooth stone throne was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. Her body was covered in golden, iridescent scales that glowed softly in the dim light. From the waist up, she appeared human, with delicate features and emerald green eyes that seemed to pierce straight into his soul. Her long, flowing hair cascaded down her shoulders like rivers of molten gold. This was Shahmeran, the queen of the snakes, a being both beautiful and terrifying. The price of knowledge. Who dares enter my sanctuary? Shahmeran's voice was calm yet commanding, reverberating through the cavern like a song carried on the wind. Kamsab fell to his knees, trembling but unable to look away. "Forgive me, Great One. I did not mean to intrude. I was only searching for wood to feed my family." Shahmeran studied him for a moment, her gaze softening. "You are not like the others who come here seeking greed or power. But you must understand, no one who finds this place may leave alive. My existence must remain a secret." Kamsab's heart sank. "Please," he begged, "my family depends on me. Without me, they will starve." After a long silence, Shahmeran's lips curved into a faint smile. "Very well, I will not harm you, but you must swear an unbreakable oath. You will never reveal my location to another soul. In return, I will grant you knowledge that will sustain not only your family, but your entire village." Kamsab, overwhelmed with relief, swore the oath. From that day forward, he became Shahmeran's pupil, learning the secrets of the natural world. She taught him the healing properties of plants, how to read the stars, and how to understand the languages of animals. Longing for home. Though the cave was a paradise, Kamsab could not shake the ache in his heart. He missed the laughter of his siblings, the warmth of his mother's embrace, and the earthy scent of his village after a rare rainfall. Shahmeran noticed his growing restlessness. "You wish to leave," she said one day, her voice tinged with sadness. Kamsab nodded. "I am grateful for all you have taught me, but my heart belongs to my family." Shahmeran sighed. "Very well, I will allow you to leave. But remember, if you ever betray me, it will not be my wrath you fear, but the consequences of breaking your word." With a heavy heart, Shahmeran bid him farewell, her eyes lingering on him as he disappeared through the crack in the rocks. The betrayal. Years passed. Kamsab used the knowledge Shahmeran had given him to heal the sick, ease suffering, and guide his village through the hardest of times. He became a respected figure, known for his wisdom and kindness. But peace was fleeting. One day news spread that the king had fallen gravely ill, struck by a mysterious disease that no healer could cure. The royal physicians declared that only the flesh of Shahmeran could save him. Soldiers were sent to scour the land, interrogating anyone who might know of her whereabouts. When they arrived in Kamsab's village, suspicion fell upon him. Despite their threats and torture, Kamsab kept his silence, clutching his oath like a lifeline. But when the soldiers turned their wrath upon his family, threatening to destroy everything he loved, his resolve broke. With tears streaming down his face, he revealed the location of the cave. Shahmeran's sacrifice. The soldiers stormed the cave and captured Shahmeran, binding her in chains. They brought her to the palace, where Kamsab, consumed by guilt, stood in the shadows, unable to meet her gaze. But Shahmeran did not look at him with anger. Instead, she smiled sadly. "Do not weep, Kamsab. You did what you thought was right. This was my fate all along." Before her execution, she gave the king's physician a warning. "The one who eats my flesh will gain my wisdom, but the one who drinks my blood will inherit only sorrow and madness." Her body was prepared for the king, who consumed her flesh and was miraculously cured. But the vizier, driven by greed, drank her blood, hoping to gain her power. True to Shahmeran's words, he was cursed with madness, his mind unraveling until he destroyed himself. The legacy of Shahmeran Kamsab returned to his village, forever changed by the betrayal he had been forced to commit. He spent the rest of his life sharing the wisdom Shahmeran had taught him, helping his people thrive and keeping her memory alive. The story of Shahmeran became a legend, a tale of sacrifice, wisdom, and the price of betrayal. It is said that her spirit lingers in the hidden depths of the earth, waiting for a time when humanity will once again seek her wisdom. And perhaps in some forgotten corner of the world, her golden sanctuary still waits to be found.